There's another of them. Come in, come in.
Where's my passport? About half a mile down the road. Right into Madrid.
Let me take this. Any more stuff in the car?
No, I travel light. Glad to see you've got a good fire.
Mr. Wren, Miss...
Casewell.
My wife will be down in a minute.
No hurry. I've got to get myself thawed out. It looks as though you're going to be snowed up here. Weather forecast says heavy falls expected, motorists warned, etc. Hope you've got plenty of provisions in.
Oh yes, my wife's an excellent manager. And anyway, we can always eat our hens.
Before we start eating each other, eh?
Any news in the paper, apart from the weather?
Usual political crisis. Oh yes, and a rather juicy murder.
A murder? Oh, I like murder.
They seem to think it was a homicidal maniac. Strangled a woman somewhere near Paddington. Sex maniac, I suppose.
Doesn't say much, does it? The police are anxious to interview a man seen in the vicinity of Culver Street at the time. Medium height, wearing darkish overcoat, lightish scarf and soft felt hat. Police messages to this effect have been broadcast throughout the day.
Useful description. Fit pretty well anyone, wouldn't it?
When it says that the police are anxious to interview somebody, is that a polite way of hinting he's the murderer?
Could be.
Who was the woman who was murdered?
Mrs. Lyon, or Mrs. Maureen Lyon.
Young or old?
It doesn't say. Doesn't seem to have been robbery.
I told you. Sex maniac.
Here's Miss Casewell, Mollie. My wife.
How'd you do?
It's an awful night. Would you like to come up to your room? The water's hot if you'd like a bath.
You're right, I would.
That's funny. Hugo's Russian grammar simplified. Not today.
I must hurry up to the kitchen and get on with things. Major Metcalf's very nice. He won't be difficult. It's Miss Boyle really frightens me. We must have a nice dinner. I was thinking of opening 2 tins of minced beef and 2 peas on mashing the potatoes. And there's stewed figs and custard. Do you think that'll be all right?
Oh, I should think so. Not very original, perhaps.
Oh, do let me help. I adore cooking. Why not an omelette? You've got eggs, haven't you?
Yes, we've got lots of eggs. We keep plenty of fowls. They don't lay as well as they should, but we've got a lot of eggs.
And if you've got a bottle of cheap, any type of wine to add to minced beef and cereals, did you say? Give it a continental flavor. Show me where the kitchen is, and you've got, and I dare say I shall have an inspiration.
Come on. So an omelette you were cooking. Get in the omelette. Isn't he sweet? He's put on an apron and he's getting all the things together. He says leave it all to him and don't come back for half an hour. If our guests want to do the cooking themselves, it will save us a lot of trouble.
Why on earth did you give him the best room?
I told you, he liked the 4-poster.
He likes the pretty 4-poster. Twerp.
Giles!
Got no use for that kind. You didn't handle his suitcase. I did.
Had it got bricks in it?
It was no weight at all. If you ask me, there was nothing inside it.
He's probably one of those young men who go around bilking hotel keepers.
I don't believe it. I like him. I think Miss Casewell's rather peculiar, don't you?
Terrible female. If she is a female.
Seems very hard that all our guests should either be unpleasant or odd. Oh, I think Major Metcalf's all right, don't you?
Probably drinks.
Do you think so?
No, I don't. I was just feeling rather depressed. Well, at any rate, we know the worst now. They're all here. Probably the Culver Street murderer. Oh,
1,000 pardons! Where am I?
this is Monkswell Manor Guest House.
But what stupendous good fortune! Madame! The guest house. And the charming hostess. Alas, my Rolls Royce has run into a snowdrift, planting snow everywhere. I do not know where I am. I think to myself, perhaps I shall freeze to death. And then I take my little bag. I stagger through the snow till I come to big iron gates. A habitation. I am saved! Twice I fall into the snow as I come up your drive, but at last I arrive, and immediately despair turns to joy. You can let me have a room, yes?
Oh, yes.
It's a rather small room, I'm afraid.
Naturally. You have other guests.
We only just opened this place as a guest house today, so we're rather new at it.
Charming.
What about your luggage?
That is of no consequence. I have locked the car securely.
But wouldn't it be better to get it in?
No, I assure you. On a night such as this, there will be no thieves abroad. And as for me, my wants are very simple. I have all that I need here, in this little bag. Yes. All that I need.
You'd better get thoroughly warm. I'll see about your room. It's a rather cold room, I'm afraid, because it faces north, but all the others are occupied.
You have several other guests, then?
Yes, there's Miss Boyle and Major Metcalf and Miss Casewell and a young man named Christopher Wren. And now, you.
Yes. The unexpected guest. The guest you did not invite. The guest who just arrived. From nowhere. Out of the storm. Sounds quite dramatic, does it not? Who am I? You do not know. Where do I come from? You do not know. Me, I am the man of mystery. But now, I tell you this. From now on, there will be no more arrivals. And no more departures either. By tomorrow, perhaps, even already. We were snowed in. We are cut off from civilization. No butcher, no baker, no milkman, no postman, no daily papers, nobody, and nothing but ourselves. That is admirable. Admirable. It could not suit me better. Oh, my name, by the way, is Paravicini.
Oh yes, ours is Ralston.
Mr. and Mrs. Ralston. And this is Monkswell Manor Guest House, you said? Yes. Monkswell Manor Guest House. Perfect. Perfect.
I consider it most dishonest not to have at least told me they were only just starting this place.
Well, everything's got to have a beginning, you know. Excellent breakfast this morning. Good coffee, scrambled eggs, homemade marmalade, and all nicely served too. Little woman does it all herself.
Amateurs. There should be a proper staff.
Excellent lunch too.
Corned beef.
But very well disguised corned beef. Red wine in it. Miss Ralston promised to make us a pie for tonight.
These radiators are not really hot. I shall speak about it.
Comfy beds too. At least mine was. Hope yours was too.
It was quite adequate. I don't see why the most peculiar man should have the best bedroom.
Got here ahead of us. First come, first served.
From the advertisement, I got quite a different impression of what this place would be like. A comfortable writing room, a much larger place altogether, with bridge and other amenities.
Great little old Tabby's delight.
I beg your
I
pardon.
mean, I quite see what you mean there.
No, indeed. I should not be staying here long.
No. I don't suppose you will.
Really? That's a very peculiar young man. I shouldn't wonder. Unbalanced mentally.
You think he escaped from the lunatic asylum?
I shouldn't wonder.
Giles,
Yes.
could you shovel the snow away again from the back door?
Come in.
I'll give you a hand, boys. Good exercise. You must have exercise.
carrying a carpet sweeper through the front hall. Aren't there any back stairs?
Oh yes, nice back stairs. Very convenient if there was a fire.
Then why not use them? Anyway, all the housework should have been done in the morning, before lunch.
I gather our hostess had to cook the lunch.
Oh, very haphazard and amateurish. There should be a proper staff.
Not very easy to get nowadays, is it?
No, indeed. The lower classes seem to have no idea of their responsibilities.
Oh, lower classes. They've got the between their teeth, haven't they?
I gather you are a socialist.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'm not red, just pale pink. I'm interested in politics. I live abroad.
I suppose conditions are much easier abroad.
I don't have to cook and clean, as I gather most people have to do in this country.
This country has sadly gone downhill. Not what it used to be. I sold my house last year. It was too difficult.
Hotels and guest houses are easier.
They certainly do solve someone's problems. Are you over in England for long?
Depends. I've got some business to see to. When it is done, I shall go back.
To France?
No.
Italy?
No.
Would you mind turning that down? I find it most distracting when one is trying to write letters.
Do you?
If you're not particularly going to listen, just
It's my favourite music. There's a writing table in there.
I know, but it's much warmer here.
Much more, I agree.
That's all right.
Oh yes, it served its purpose.
For what purpose?
Tactics, boy.
Who? You mean her?
She pinched the best chair. I've got it now.
Who drove her out? I'm glad. I'm very glad. I don't like her a bit. Let's think of things we could do to annoy her, shall we? I wish she'd go away from here.
In this, not a hope.
Yes, but when the snow melts.
Oh, when the snow melts, lots of things may have happened.
Yes, that's true. Snow's rather lovely, isn't it? So peaceful and pure. It makes one forget things.
It doesn't make me forget.
How fierce you sound.
I was thinking.
What sort of thing?
Ice on a bedroom jug. Chilblains raw and bleeding. One thin, ragged blanket. Child shivering. Cold and fear.
My dear, it sounds too grim. What is it, a novel?
You didn't know I was a writer, did you?
Are you?
Sorry to disappoint you. Actually, I'm not.
Mousetrap guest house. What? Oh no, I'm afraid Mr. Ralston can't come to the telephone just now. This is Mrs. Ralston speaking. Who? The Berkshire Police? Oh yes. Yes, Superintendent Hogbin. I'm afraid that's impossible. He'd never get here. We're snowed up, completely snowed up. The roads are impassable, nothing can get through. Very well. Yes? But what? Hello? Hello?
Mollie, do you know if there's another spade?
Giles, the police have just run up.
Trouble with the police, eh? Serving liquor without a license?
They said they're sending an inspector or a sergeant out here or something.
But he'd never get here.
That's what I told them. They seemed quite confident that he would.
Nonsense. Even a jeep couldn't get through today. Anyways, what's it all about?
That's what I asked, but he wouldn't say. Just said I was to impress upon my husband to listen very carefully to what Sergeant Trotter, I think it was, had to say, and to follow his instructions implicitly. Isn't it extraordinary?
What on earth do you think we've done?
Do you think it's those nylons from Gibraltar?
I did remember to get the wireless license, didn't I?
Yes, it's in the kitchen dresser.
I had a rather near shave with the car the other day, but it was entirely the other fellow's fault.
You must have done something.
It's probably got something to do with running this place. I gather we have ignored some tin-pot regulation of some ministry or other. You practically can't avoid it nowadays.
Wish we'd never started this place. Going to be snowed up for days and everyone is cross. We shall go through all our reserve of tins.
Cheer up, darling. Everything's going all right at the moment. I've filled all the coal scuttles and brought in the wood, and stoked the aga and done the hens. And I'll go and do the boiler next and chop some kindling. You know, Mollie, come to think of it, it must be something pretty serious to send a police sergeant trekking out through all of this. It must be something really urgent.
Ah, there you are, Mr. Ralston. Do you know that the central heating of the library is practically stone cold?
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Boyle.
I am paying 7 guineas a week here. 7 guineas, and I do not want to freeze.
I'll go and stoke it up.
Mrs. Ralston, if you don't mind my saying so, that's a very extraordinary young man you have staying here. His manners and his ties, and does he ever brush his hair?
He is an extremely brilliant young architect.
I beg your pardon.
Christopher Wren is an architect.
My dear young woman, I have naturally heard of Sir Christopher Wren. Of course, he was an architect. He built St. Paul's. You young people seem to think no one is educated but yourselves.
I meant this Wren. His name is Christopher. His parents called him that because they hoped he'd become an architect. And he is, or nearly one. So it turned out all right.
Seems a fishy story to me. I would make some inquiries about it if I were you. What do you know of him?
Just as much as I know about you, Mrs. Boyle, which is that you're both paying us 7 guineas every week. That's all I really need to know, isn't it? And all that concerns me. It doesn't matter to me whether I like my guests, or whether I don't.
You are young and inexperienced and should welcome advice from someone more knowledgeable than yourselves. What about this foreigner?
What about him?
You weren't expecting him, were you?
To turn away a bona fide traveller is against the law, Mrs. Boyle. You should know that.
What makes you say that?
Weren't you a magistrate sitting on the bench, Mrs. Boyle?
Well, in any case, this Mr. Panini, or whatever he calls himself.
Beware, dear lady. You taught the devil, and here he is.
I didn't hear you come in.
No, I came in on tiptoe, like this. Nobody ever hears me if I do not want them to. I find that very amusing.
Indeed.
Now, there was a young lady who was...
Well, I must get on with my letters. I'll see if it's a bit warmer in the drawing room.
My charming hostess looks upset. What is it, dear lady?
Well, everything's rather difficult this morning because of the snow.
Yes. Snow makes things difficult, does it not? But else, it makes them easy. Yes, very easy.
Don't you know what you mean?
No. There's quite a lot you do not know. I think for one thing you do not know very much about running a guest house.
I dare say we don't. But we mean to make a go of it.
Bravo, bravo!
Not such a very bad cook.
No, indeed you are an enchanting cook. May I offer you a little word of warning, Mrs. Ralston? You and your husband must not be too trusting. Have you references with these guests of yours?
Is that usual? I always thought people just came.
It is advisable to know a little about the people who are sleeping under your roof. Take, for example, myself. I turn up saying that my car is overturned in a snowdrift. What do you know of me? Nothing at all. I may be a thief, a robber, a fugitive from justice, a madman, even a murderer. You see, and perhaps you know just as little of your other guests.
Well, as far as Mrs. Boyle goes.
The drawing room is far too cold to sit in. I shall write my letters in here.
Allow me to poke the fire for you.
Excuse me, Miss Ralston, is your husband about? I'm afraid the pipes of the downstairs cloakroom are frozen.
Dear, what an awful day. Where's the police?
Police!
Police, did you say?
Oh, yes. They rang up just now to say they're sending an inspector or sergeant out here or something, but I don't think he'll ever get here.
Ruddy coat's more than half stones and the price. Hello, is anything the matter?
The police are on their way here. Why?
Oh, that's all right. No one can get through this. Why, the drifts must be 5 feet deep, and the roads are all made up. No one will get here today.
Are you Mr. Ralston?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Detective Sergeant Trotter, Berkshire Police. Can I get these skis off and stow them somewhere?
Go around that way to the front door, I'll lead you.
Thank you, sir.